Coming to the green flag here. Kyle Collins on pole position alongside Nick Breeding for round number 20 of the 2022 FBRL Hardee's National Series season. Green flag in the air here at Decatur Raceway. Heading into the turn 1 chicane. Kyle Collins immediately gets out to a lead there. Nick Breeding holds off a charge from Shade Eves around the inside. And Collins already stretching out to a very large gap here, probably more than 5 car lengths. So Collins looking to continue his road course momentum here, as he absolutely dominated Eagle Point a couple of weeks ago, and he's looking to do the same today at Decatur. Meanwhile, behind him, Nick Breeding, who's also been one of the fastest drivers on the road courses this season. He's in second place here. Still looking for that first win on the road courses, though. Tyler Black slots into third behind. Coming off a heartbreaking second place finish at Nazareth. Looking to try and redeem himself here if he can win this. He's going to have to get past Nick Breeding and Kyle Collins, two very, very strong road racers. Meanwhile, Tyler Black, who has had some good finishes on the road courses, but hasn't exactly been the most stout. Battle here between Noah Hart and Hannah Allen here, as Hart trying to get up the inside of Hannah there. As Hannah, she goes off to the grass there and makes contact with Kev Shear. They make a little bit of contact after the curbing, as Allen came back onto the racetrack. And Shear now around the inside is going to get past her. Bobo Jones now up the inside, trying to get the spot as well there. Here's your points there. Diego Yepes in front of his teammate RJ Bishop. Yepes, who qualified outside the top 10. He's already made up several positions on the start, as he has gone into 7th place here. Yepes won back at Road 1 earlier in the season. So he's been one of the more consistent road course drivers as well. And the consistently fastest. He's basically been in contention for almost every road course race this season. As he's now trying to work his way up to the Fisher cars, as Gatlin Downey and Luke Martin are in front of him. Here's Brandon Chrasta, who really had a bad qualifying session this weekend. He has got quite the gap to make up here in this 8 car. And he's up to 36th at the moment, so he's gained a few spots, I believe. But it is going to be a long road ahead here. Here's Chrasta now trying to go up the inside. James Ellison and Tyler Commons for 3 wide. And Chrasta backs out of it there. That was probably a smart move, but Chrasta is going to be in a hurry here to try and make up some spots, as he's now getting hounded by Dunn the Pratt in the 42. TJ Smith in the 06, driving for his own team. TJ Smith Incorporated had a really strong qualifying effort this weekend. A lot of people were really surprised qualifying in the top 25, in the top 20 even. And TJ, he's trying to hold off some guys here. He's got Dane Stinson in the 16, Ryan Reed in the 24, Julius Caesar, Malik Nevins. The entire Serigley team is basically behind him. So TJ, he's basically just trying to hold on for as many positions as he can here, as you have to imagine the cars behind him are maybe a little bit faster. But TJ is doing a pretty solid job here to start, and what's going to help is if these guys keep racing in a pack like this. Ryan Reed in the 24, 3 Serigley cars, and then 2 SG Motorsports cars behind him. Here comes Yepes in the 77 up the inside. He's going to get next to Gatlin Downey here for the position. This is for 6th place, and Yepes goes up the inside of the 12 of Downey. Downey looks like he may have made a slight mistake in that corner, and it's going to cost him a spot here. So Yepes now, the points leader, moves up into another position here. Battle for 3rd here. Tyler Black and Shade Eves going at it here. Now, this corner has been the trouble spot all weekend long for these teams. You can see here, Shade Eves gets really tight off the exit of the corner there. That's been a corner that a lot of teams and drivers have been complaining about this weekend. It seems that a lot of times when these drivers are getting up behind people in that corner, they say that dirty air is all of a sudden setting their car upward towards the banking and basically ruining their corner for them. Now, dirty air on road courses is not unheard of, but a lot of teams were really surprised with how exaggerated it was for this weekend, especially for that particular track. You have to wonder if maybe the banking perhaps is making the aerodynamics difficult for these cars. Back in the mid-pack here, Patrick Smith. He has a massive problem getting out the corner there. I think he may have misshifted or got stuck in a gear there, as that turn 1 chicane is quite nasty here. As Lars Van Schijk here. Oh, they're making contact in the corner there. Schijk moves into the 04 and almost shoves him off into the grass, and that's going to cost Patrick Smith several spots there as Smith goes all the way off the course. That one little mistake and a little help from Lars Van Schijk just costed the 04 a couple positions there, and I can't imagine Patrick Smith's too thrilled about that one. Lars Van Schijk in the 33. They actually managed to qualify for this weekend here. Granted, the reason why they hired Schijk was for road courses like this, and so far not doing a pretty bad job so far, making a pass on S3 car. Granted, not in the most clean way that they could have done it, but even then, Van Schijk, they're just trying to get whatever points that they can get and just get whatever good finishes that can come their way. So far, they have a best finish of 25th this year, which was back at Hawaii earlier in the season. Just over the quarter of the way through here. So far, the top 10 has remained static. And right now, we have a 3-car battle for the second place spot here. Tyler Black has slowly inched towards the 54 of Breeding, and he's brought Shade Eves along with him here. And meanwhile, Kyle Collins, who has stretched out to a 2.71 lead. He is currently in control of this race here. This is expected to be a 2-stop race. And you can see there, I mean, we mentioned earlier how the dirty air in that corner has been kind of rough. You just saw right there as Shade Eves really struggled behind the 84 of Tyler Black. Black seemed to have handled himself quite okay with Breeding, but did not really gain much there. So it's going to have to be a case of you're going to have to try and make a pass either before or after that corner. You can see these three are just evenly matched right now, just smooth through the corners here, just trying to see if they can run down that 41. But Collins is, if Eagle Point was any indication, that 41 team, when they got a good road course set up, they're pretty tough to beat. So, and you can see, I think the gap is just getting bigger too. Collins is just getting way further up the road, and the big thing is he doesn't even have draft. He's just doing this by himself completely. So Curtis Racing, they've got that 41 hooked up for these road courses here. And pretty vital for Collins too, who was trying to make up points here. As here we got cars coming to pit road here. Here comes Yepes, Martin. Yepes makes the pass on Martin entering pit road. Nice job by Yepes there. That's a good way to get a spot. Kyle Collins pitted the lap after those first guys came in. So where's Collins going to come out here? I don't see anyone coming up behind here. I think Collins is going to be good to go for the lead. And yes, Kyle Collins quietly keeps the lead there. As Breeding stays in second place here. Yepes gets up to third, I believe. He's going to get past Tyler Black, so another position for Diego Yepes. What a stop from the 77 team. You have to mention also pitting that lap before may have helped them undercut here. But that was a really nice piece of pit work there by the 77 team. Got them past Eves and got them past Martin. Well, he passed Martin entering pit road, and then his pit crew got him in front of Tyler Black and Shade Eves. So nice job by the 77 team. The points leader. You have to feel that 77 team. I think they're feeling it right now because they can see the championship in sight here. There hasn't really been much of a large points gap this season. And as the races wind down, you're going to want as many points as you can get, as big of a lead as you can get here. Shade Eves, he has lost 2 positions throughout this pit cycle here. And this has been a very common occurrence, actually, throughout, well, maybe not most of this season, but a good chunk of this season, especially in recent weeks here. Shade Eves and this 3 team, they have been constantly struggling on pit road. And granted, at least this one wasn't as major of a mess up as we've seen, as Shade Eves was running in the top 5 at Nazareth before a pit road problem, was running in the top 5, I believe, or top 10 at Gateway before they had an issue on pit road, which sent them to the back. And, I mean, if you want to go back to road course 2, you got to remember Road 1 where the Eves was leading, and then they didn't secure the tire on properly, so they had to come down pit road to re-secure the tire, which cost them a potential victory there. So Eves, who spent a good chunk of this season actually as the points leader, the speed has been there. They just not have been able to really execute on finishes this season, whether if it's on pit road or on the racetrack here sometimes. Also, I believe Hawaii as well, they also had a pretty lengthy issue on pit road as well, so that's kind of just been the downfall of this 3 team after such a strong start, has just been pit road. Eves hasn't really made many mistakes, and you have to imagine CM Racing how they must be feeling here, because Eves is the realistic option for this title right now, with Shear a little bit farther back and Chrasta starting to lose ground. Time's running out for Eves, and these mistakes just cannot keep happening. Speaking of Brandon Chrasta, I was expecting him to just absolutely drive to his field, but this 8 car has just not moved. He's currently sitting in 37th. He's lost a spot even. He's lost a spot to Dunlap-Rad. I wonder what must be going on with this A team, because they just haven't had the speed, and even if you factor in maybe they just didn't get the setup right, a car like this should have the handling and the engines to basically be faster than, I would say, most of the first 10 cars in front of them, but just something seems to be off, and they just cannot seem to find something here. Ooh, Shade Eves gets caught in the dirty air again. That 3 car has been struggling in the dirty air. We've seen him a couple times slip up here. It got him past Gallon Downey earlier, but now it's going to hurt him and potentially cost him a spot here. Here comes Downey up the inside in the 12. Trying to find a way past the 3. Eves holds firm. Here comes RJ Bishop now up the inside. Now trying to find a way past. Eves made a big mistake there, and it's got Downey all over him here, but I think this 3 car is a little bit faster than the 12. So Eves does hold him off for now. Ten laps to go here at Decatur. What's been a relatively calm race thus far. TJ Smith still holding firm in 19th right now. He's got the entire Sir Wrigley army behind him right now. Caesar, Nevins, and Stinson behind, and TJ's doing a really good job just holding them off. Honestly, you can tell that this 06 may not be as quick as the 2 cars, as the old 3 cars behind him, but he's just driving nice, clean, consistent laps here, and it's paying off for him so far. Behind him, Ian Brandt, Stinson, having a brief battle there. Ian Brandt having one of his stronger runs this season thus far. As here we go, final pit stops of the day here as several cars come to pit road. Originally, on the previous pit stop, the field was split, but this time it's changed. Everyone's coming to pit road with 10 to go here, coming at 9 to go. So Kyle Collins, your leader. Just got to have a nice, clean stop here. And he should keep the lead here. 3-second lead entering pit road. This is the top 2. Collins should easily get out of his box here. Fills up the tank. He goes, breeding now. He comes out there for second place. Here comes Yepes. And Yepes, he is flying off of pit lane there. He goes speeding through the exit. I'm not sure if that was legal or not, but Yepes goes through. He's going to get past Nick Breeding for second place. Another great start from the 77 team, although Yepes, he absolutely floored it off of pit lane. I'm not sure if Breeding maybe also had an issue shifting up the gears or something, but Yepes, he was just flying off the exit there. And now he's up to second place, and this is a huge moment for the points leader here, as Yepes is now basically in front of almost everyone in the top 5 in points besides Kyle Collins. And Nick Breeding, this is not what he wanted to see. Breeding knows he needs to gain some points on Yepes. This 54 team has lost so much ground over this past month, and this is not going to help. Hannah Allen, the 94, currently running in 9th place here, and you gotta say, the Spar Motorsports pit crew for her this weekend, they have done a really good job for her. She at one point was running in 12th, but a couple of good pit stops later, they're back in the top 10, so Hannah Allen, who has had a very difficult season this year for Spar Motorsports, and a team that's been kind of inconsistent throughout most of the year. Well, not really kind of. They have been inconsistent, but Hannah Allen, I mean, at one point she was in danger of falling out of the top 30 numbers points, and while they have managed to rebound a bit over the past couple of months, the speed in this 94 has just not been there. They've had good qualifying efforts, but race pace has just been the big struggle. And this is the strongest this 94 has looked all year long, outside of maybe Hawaii, but she's got a nice challenge from Noah Hart behind her, and I mean, at this point, she's basically hoping that this car can finish in the top 10 here. Just any positive for this 94 team would be welcome, I believe. Gonna take a quick look here at the pit exit here for Diego Yepes, because this was a lot of timed gain on Nick Breeding here. So this is what happens, I believe. Pit road speed's 55 miles per hour. Diego Yepes, he gets up to 55 miles per hour. Meanwhile, Nick Breeding from the second pit box, he's still getting up to speed on the pit exit, trying to shift up through the gears. He was clocked in at around 34 when he crossed the start-finish line, so I think that's why Yepes just got by. He had the momentum coming off pit lane because he had the longer pit exit, and it was actually a major advantage for him. So here's the train that TJ Smith has formed in the 06 car, as that train's getting bigger and bigger for this team. And we're coming up on 5 to go here. It's going to be very interesting to see how the cars behind them stay patient here, because you have to imagine as this race is winding down, they may get a little more aggressive here. Julius Caesar in the 10. He's been kind of the one hounding this 06 for most of this day, and he's just looking for some kind of opportunity to get by this 06, which could be here. Caesar got a really good run off the chicane there, but this is where it could get a little bit tricky. This is the banked corner that's been basically hurting everybody this weekend here. And Caesar, he gets really tight off there. Smith came up and gave him a little bit of arrow push, and that cost him there. And then here comes Ryan Butcher and Nevins. Butcher also slid up the track, and Nevins capitalizes and takes the spot. So Ryan Butcher, he is starting to free fall through this field a little bit here. Was running near the top 15, but has now fallen outside the top 20. Ryan Butcher, who is, he's been a very big surprise this season, a very pleasant one, I would say, for most of this field. Basically, every time we come to an oval, this 88 team has just been on it. But when it comes to the road courses, I think Butcher still may have a bit to learn, as road courses have definitely been the big struggle for this 88 team this season. It's hard to believe, but RJ Bishop is, well, hard to believe, that's a bit of a mean statement, but the 71 team of RJ Bishop, they've really turned it up the last couple of weeks here in the 71 team. They've been getting a lot of top 10s, and they've been running up at the front for the past month and a half here. Now, RJ Bishop early in the season also had kind of a similar streak to this, where they were running outside the top 5, but it's just been a really difficult season for the 71 team sometimes. Sometimes they'll come in and they'll bring in a really good car and they just can't really finish it correctly. But Bishop has had an okay year so far this year. But you have to imagine, in comparison to his teammate Diego Yepes, it isn't exactly the most ideal situation. But you have to wonder, with Yepes leaving the team for next season, could this be an opportunity for RJ Bishop to potentially reach the potential that Turner Performance Racing believes that he can achieve? We shall see for next year, but right now RJ Bishop, he's just trying to keep this momentum going in the 71 car. He's doing a pretty good job today. A nice, quiet, simple day. Just something the 71 team has not had. They've had, I believe, 4 DNFs this season, which I believe is the most amount throughout the entire field. So, just not wrecking or having mechanical failure is a positive here. Oh boy, I tell you what, this battle for 18 is getting a little bit spicy here, as I think the field has had enough of TJ Smith, and they're now trying to get past the 06. We mentioned a couple minutes ago how you have to imagine that the patience is going to wear thin, and I think the patience is gone. Here comes Caesar up the inside of TJ Smith for 18th there. Caesar finally, it took almost the entire race to do it, but he's gone past the 06 of TJ. And now Smith, he's going to have to try and hold off Nevins here. I think the 06, I think that car is basically screaming for help at this point with how hard it's been pushed. And look at the absolute train that this has all of a sudden picked up here. Brandt now being attacked by Dane Stinson in the 16. This is the most exciting part of the race so far, by a country mile. Ooh, Brandt slides off into the grass there. The same mistake that Hannah Allen made in lap 1. And here comes Stinson up the inside. Can he clear the 29? Here comes Kyle Springer to try and pounce on his teammate here. Springer can't get past him. And Brandt, he has lost position here. And here comes his teammate Kyle Springer up the inside. He makes a dive up the inside. Kyle Springer now trying to get a spot here. Brandt has been struggling the second half of the course. Springer on the outside trying to make a pass here. This is for the very illustrious 23rd place position here. And here comes Springer up the inside, goes past Brandt. Brandt makes a mistake off the exit. Here comes Huck Davis in the 99. And Tim Fiegel in the 87. I wonder if something maybe wrong with the 29 or Brandt's just having a massive issue just getting this car to turn, because he is struggling in this 29. Here comes Huck Davis up the inside for the spot there. Brandt, he is trying to hold Davis off. That's a Turner engine that he's racing right here. And here comes Davis up the inside, tries to make a lunge up the inside, but Brandt holds him there. But Davis, he powers through into the corner, and Brandt is now in big trouble. Something I think is wrong with that 29. He is just getting hounded left and right by this entire field. Here comes Fiegel up the inside. And Lars and Ree, they have to be feeling that this could be an opportunity here with 3 to go to get one more spot. Here comes Fiegel up the inside, trying to clear the 29. They're going to be 2 by 2 down the straightaway here. And what has been the most exciting part of the race by far. Here comes Fiegel up the inside. He clears the 29. Brandt tries to come back up the outside, but Fiegel shuts him off. Coming to the white flag here, that is the gap between first and second. Kyle Collins 6 seconds up the road in the 41. Making a nice statement here as a repeat Eagle Point performance coming to the white flag here. Kyle Collins, they have, ever since they got that win in Eagle Point, it's been a real struggle for this 41 team. They're still in the title hunt, but they have been in desperate need of a race like this, and they've gotten it. Kyle Collins en route to his second win of the season here. Just got to have a nice simple lap here. Yepes was about 2/10 faster that previous lap, but I think that also could just be Collins is taking it easy, as I think he realizes the gap he has to work with. Back behind, Nevins, Butcher, and Stinson here. Nevins trying to make a pass in the 06 of TJ, but made a mistake. And now Nevins could be in trouble here. Here comes Stinson. Here comes Butcher up the inside, trying to find a hole through. Butcher trying to get past the 11. He wants to at least get this car in the top 20 after a struggle this race, and he could have an opportunity here. Down the straightaway here, they're taking the white flag for themselves. Here comes Kyle Springer in the 32. Will he consider a lunge here up the inside? Oh no, Butcher's the one that's going to do a lunge. Nevins goes to the right to defend. Stinson up the inside. He makes the pass on the 11 of Ryan, on the 88 of Ryan Butcher, excuse me. So Stinson gets another spot. It's been a quiet but dominant day for Kyle Collins as he comes through the final corners here at Decatur Raceway. Off the final corner, Collins down the front straightaway. It's going to be another win for Kurtz Racing as Kyle Collins scores his second win of the 2022 season and wins his second road course race. 5.7 second gap to Diego Yepes. Yepes, the points here, gets a very much appreciated second place finish for himself. That is going to be massive for the points. Nick Breeding crosses the line in third. He's going to gain some points on the top 5 in points, but not Collins or Yepes, which is what he needed. Tyler Black has another top 5 finishes in fourth. Luke Martin does not win for the third straight time, but he does cross the line fifth as his late championship surge continues. But losing points to Yepes, that's not going to help. Shade Eves finishes 6th place. Probably could have been more if it wasn't for some pit road incidents or struggles, not really incidents. Archbishop comes across in 7th. Gatlin Downey across in 8th place. Hannah Allen finishes in 9th of her first top 10 of the season, if you can believe it. And Noah Hart crosses the line 10th to score a top 10 for Rodriguez Racing.